Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, your friend has told me one problem that he couldn't read a character from a keyboard or from a terminal. So, we will check.
It will show, it will show the character. If I only write this character ch, means uh, if I write only that ch, it will take the input. But if I take matlab, else more than two yeah, three integer yeah, float type, change the date type, then it doesn't take the character type. Means
Okay,
yeah, it will take the value.
acha. In this way, it will take the value, right?
Yeah.
But when you will use more than one,
One yeah.
like this, int d. Okay, let's check it out. Should not happen. Enter the integer percent d.
In online, sir, it will show some argument here. Means like a float type here, else type.
Enter the character a. Enter the integer 6. Yes, it has taken successfully.
But sir, for mine, doesn't take it. Also checked in online, then it will show some error. Let me show you.
Yeah, equal to printf. Percent d d. So I'm printing the character and integer again. So I'm giving the character a, giving the integer 77. Yes, it has been
Sir,
shown correctly.
write it on the like size of and like this. Then check it like
No,
size of D in printer.
yes, size of
Then it
we
will.
can size of it didn't show any error in size of. It will show error. It will not given you the chance to read the character, right?
Yes, sir. That's my point.
So that is not related with the size of type of thing. Okay, so let's check it out. Ch comma size of ch. So size of is actually percent d, right? Comma size of. Have you used percent d in case of size of, right? Please check it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I used it
By
because
by
it
mis
returned
by
the integer
mistake,
type
have
only.
you
Na?
have you used percent c? Just check
No.
it.
I checked it already.
Okay. A.
Then it will doesn't show me output.
Yes, it is correctly
If I
showing.
change
Look,
it.
look. The character size is 1, and the integer size is 4. It's correctly showing. It is not creating any problem in my program. I don't know why it is creating a problem. It should not. It
Then so
should not
let me.
create any problem. You check it
I checked
again. You
already.
check it again. Okay. Check it again.
I I spent already half an hour in this code, but I didn't find this any problem in
Okay.
this.
You send me that
Can,
code in my WhatsApp. Okay. Let me check it.
okay,
Okay.
okay, sir.
Send me your
Okay,
code
okay,
and error output means your output where the error is showing on. Just show me that code. Okay.
okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. Okay. So in last class we have just finished the discussion about C data type, C variables. I have also shown some basic programs. We have already done some basic programs in a C lab. Okay, C practical. So today we are going to start our discussion. Is one of the most important part of C programming language, that is decision making and branching. Okay, decision making and branching. That means why it is called decision making and branching, because by the help of condition checking, you can make a decision. You are able to make a decision whether the condition is true or false, and based on that decision you can branch your decision into two parts. One part represents true, another part represents false. Okay, so that's why it's called decision making and branching. Okay, decision making and branching. So decision making structures require that the programmer specifies one or more conditions to be evaluated. Look, while we already discussed about the conditions and conditions checking in our typical flowchart discussion or flowchart representation. At that time, I have already discussed about this decision making and branching. Okay, so this conception is very much similar with that part, but here we are representing the same conception instead of design point of view. Here we are representing in terms of coding point of view. Okay, so how we can write the decision making and branching in terms of code. So very simple. So this is a condition. This is a flow chart that we have already learned. One data has been inputted here. Condition has been written within this diamond box. If the condition is true, then we will make some decision or provide some decision, and then the program will terminate. If the condition is false, then it will make some other decisions, or the program will terminate without any value. So any one of these things we can represent. So here are mainly two things are there that we are going to represent, true and false, and that is called if statement and if and else statement. Okay, one is called if statement, another one is called if and else statement. So if statement consists of a boolean expressions followed by one or more statements, whereas where else statement executes when the boolean expression is false. That means if statement execute when the boolean expression is true, and else statement execute when a boolean expression is false. Okay, so let's check it out. We will do some code for you. Suppose uh, we are going to do that largest among two numbers. Okay, so largest among two numbers we can find in such a way. Suppose we have declared or defined two numbers, a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Okay, we can declare these two numbers in such a way. That's a simple variable declaration, and then we will do the decision making or condition checking. Okay, decision making and branching with the help of condition checking. In decision making, we will have to use the if loop or if statement, whatever you say. Now within this if statement, we can check this condition. If a is greater than b, right? If a is greater than b, we can write printf here and say that a is larger than b, right? A is larger than b. Clear? A is larger than b. So we can terminate our program here in this way. We can simply terminate our program. We don't need to require to write any else statement here. Okay, so we can terminate our program in this way. Why it is not showing any part? Because the condition does not satisfy here, because a value is 10 and b value is 20. So according to this condition, if a greater than b, then this statement will execute. So a greater than b condition false. Okay, because a is 10, b is 20. Obviously the condition does not satisfy here, so that's why it will jump into the next statement after the if statement. So what is where the end of the if statement? This is the part of the if statement. To represent it more clearly, we can use a open brace and close brace, this type of thing, to represent that this is a if block of statement. Okay, if block of statement. So if we are going to execute the if block of statement, if the condition does not satisfy, then it will go into the next part after the if block of the statement. And in this program, there is no next part has been written in this program. That's why the output it is showing, that is a blank output, or a black screen. Only the screen, blank screen, it is showing as output, right? Understood? So if we'll write, if we will give this condition instead of a greater than b, if we will use the condition a less than b, right now it will execute successfully the block of the statement that has been written within the if block, that is a is larger than b, right? So else block, it is not mandatory to give, it is also optional to give. You can give only if. But here, if we are not giving else part, obviously that is a illogical type of thing. Why? Because if one condition does not hold, then the other condition should hold, and in case of other condition, it will give a blank screen. So obviously we should not accept a blank screen as the output of our program. So that's why we have to give a else part here. Okay, so in the else part, we can say b is larger than a, and we should change this condition. Okay, we will check it out, right? So else part will execute because this condition fails. So that's why the else condition, else part is always holds the condition just opposite of if condition. That means if A greater than B is not there, then A less than B less than equal to B has been held by else part. Remember it very carefully. Else part holds just the opposite conditions, all the opposite conditions of A greater than B. Even A equal to B, that condition is also A equal to B, that condition is also held by else part. দুটো যদি সমানও হয়, that condition is also held by else part. Let's check it out. If I have given both the values similar, 10, 10, what it will execute? It will execute the else part. Look, it will execute the else part, right? B is larger than A. Okay, is it clear to everyone? বুঝতে পারছো? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
to represent more than one conditions, we will have to use another concept that is called else if ladder. কি বললাম? To represent more than one conditions, we can use another concept which is called else if ladder. So here we can write this condition in such a way that if else if A equals to B, okay, then B is equal to A, okay, then we can write only else part, then we can write only the else part. So if any one of this condition does not hold, then else part will execute, and else part say that B is larger than A, B is larger than A, okay, right? So here A and B are equal, so that's why equal has been executed. So in this way you can define three different conditions with the help of else if ladder, right? Is it clear to everyone? Now if we are going
Yes,
to check the largest among three numbers, A10, B10 or B20 and C20, so we can write with the logical and condition that if A greater than B and A greater than C, then you can say that A is the largest, okay. Now in else if part we can write the same conditions where we will go for B is the largest. So we simply change the condition in such a way, if B greater than A and B greater than C, then B is the largest, B is the largest, and the last part always tells you that C is the largest. Okay, if any one of this condition does not hold, that means C is the largest. Very simple. So else part will always execute if any one of this part will not hold the conditions. So in this case, which one is the largest? C is the largest. So that's why C has been executed. Okay. And if B is the largest, let's rerun our code again. If B is the largest, then this part will execute. Okay. So this is called decision making and branching. That means based on some condition, you have to make a decision and accordingly you have to branch it. Now, if we omit all these braces, open braces, close braces, if we omit it, till our program will run. And if we give it, till our program will also run, right? Successfully. Now, can anyone tell me what is the necessity of giving braces in this program? When we should give braces here? When we should give braces here? What is the necessity of giving braces in this program?
It's
So
again
can
means,
you repeat the question?
Yes.
Can you? So if there are more than one line, then we need braces, right?
Yes, yes. So braces is required for those cases where within a particular statement block, these are called block. I already told this is a block of if, this is a block of else if, this is a block of else. Okay, so these are block of statement or statements. So when there is a single statement, you don't require to put the open brace and close brace in your code. But if there are more than one statement will execute like this, A is the largest. Hello, suppose I have executing this statement. I am executing this statement. So this two statement is a part of the if block, and this two statement is a part of the if block. And if we compile this our code, look, it will give error. Why? Because the rule said that in case of if else, if any one of the block will contain more than one statement, you must have to give an open brace and close brace, or you must have to enclose more than one statement within open brace and close brace. So open brace and close brace is not required for the else if and else part, but it must be required for this if part. Why? Because if part contains more than one statement. I think it is clear to everyone, right? Is it clear to everyone? বুঝতে পারলে when we are using this
Yes,
open
sir.
braces and when we are not. Okay, very good. Now I am showing you some simple programs. So this is A greater than B greater than C. I already told about it. I already discussed about it. Now I am going to tell you that we are going to take the marks of the marks of students. Okay, marks 1, marks 1, marks 2, and marks 3. So there are 3 marks I have been taken for each student. Okay, from the with the help of scanf statement, we should take these marks. So printf enter the marks of subjects, right? And we read the marks of these 3 subjects of individual students by the help of scanf statement. That means through terminal. So 3 subjects means 3 integer marks should be there. So I have given marks 1, marks 2, and marks 3. Right? 3 marks have been taken in such a way of one student, and our job is to calculate the average, or not average, it is calculate the summation of these 3 marks. Calculate the summation of these 3 marks. That means int sum equal to the addition of these 3 marks that we have received. So marks 1 plus marks 2 plus marks 3. Okay, so it is actually the total marks. Sum means total. We should write total here. Total marks of individual students by adding all the individual marks of the 3 subjects, and we have to check the students will achieve which kind of grade in their mark sheets based on the total marks. So if total marks is greater than 91, okay, greater than or equal to 91, and total marks if less than or equal to 100, okay, then we can say that A grade, that means student achieve grade A, right? Grade A, right? Now the same logic will be applied for the next divisions. অনেকগুলো divisions থাকে প্রত্যেকটা grade. I think all of you know that thing. So in the next case, if the total is greater than or equal to 81 and total is less than or equal to 90, right, then it should be grade B. It should be grade B, right? If you don't understand, please ask me. So this is the second else if. Now in this way we will do more else if. So this is the third else if. Okay, third else if. So it should be 71 and it should be 80. So if the marks of the total marks of the student fall in within this range of 71 and 80, then the students will receive the grade C. Okay. Now again one more else if, and if the marks will be 51 to 70, then it should be grade D. Now else part will say that if a student total marks does not fall within any one of this range, then we can say that the student fail. So it is a grade F. Is it clear to you? প্রত্যেকে বুঝতে পারলে the logic of this code? This is the way of how we can print a mark sheet for a single student. While we will learn the logic of how to implement looping, while loop, for loop, do while loop in C programming, or how to apply array in C programming, then we can build the same program for any number of students in your class. That means for 100 students, 900 students, 800 students, any number of students mark sheets we can generate within a few seconds. Okay, here only one student mark sheets we can generate in such a way. So let's check it out. Enter the marks of the student. So first we are entering the marks of the first student 50. Then we will enter in the marks, sorry, tinte marks into addition is should be less than 100. Okay, so the addition of the all the three subjects should be less than 100. So ami arekta subject niye ni ampersand marks 4. So each subject contains 25 marks of test. Okay, each subject should go through with a 25 marks of test, right? So 25 into 4 means how many? What is the total value? 100. So all the value should be less than 100, right? So enter the marks of subjects out of 25 for each subject, right? We have given that conditions. So while we will execute our code, it has been written as enter the marks of subjects out of 25 for each subject, right? So we'll have to first
লাইনটা চেঞ্জ করতে হবে
দু জায়গায় ampersand দেননি
Sir,
স্যার
ampersand D and
oh okay sorry
ক্যানফেল লাইনটা চেঞ্জ করতে হবে স্যার
okay sorry I forget to keep
ampersand D also added.
yes oh at percent D hobe, not ampersand D, percent D. Okay right. So first subject marks suppose 20, second subject marks 15, third subject marks suppose 25, and the next subject marks suppose 22. So grade B. So total I didn't print, so you can make the total, just add it 20, 30, 35, 50, 35 and 60. So 82. So 82 means it is fallen within the range of 80 to 90. Right, so that's why it's give a grade B. Clear? Bujhte parle? Understood? How can we print the mark sheets?
Yes, sir.
yes sir
Total ta print kora bole subidha. So try to do your program in such a way that it should be clearly understandable by the reader who is actually reading your program. While you are appearing for any technical interview, we should do that. You should do in such a way. Okay, you should do in such a way that it should be clearly and easily readable by the reader of your program. So again entering the marks. Okay, so total is 60 and the grade it receives D. Okay, why D? Look, so D grade means 51 to 70. So 60 is in within between the range of 51 to 70. So that's why it receives a grade T. After 1 minute, this link will be closed down. Okay, so everyone joined into the same link for the next session. The session will be closed down. So this is the mark sheets of a particular student to generate. Is it clear? Anyone has any doubt? Then ask me. Is it clear?
yes sir
Yes, sir.
Why it is called
Yes,
else if
sir.
ladder? Why it is called else if ladder? এই কনসেপ্টটাকে বলা হয় else if ladder. Why it is called else if ladder?
স্যার অনেকগুলো এলসিভ ইউজ করা হয়েছে তাই
No. Let me show you.